Hi, this is Dr. Sage Breslin. Have you noticed that your feelings are different when you're in a toxic relationship? Well, if you have, that's normal, and not in the way that maybe other people would think. I think when folks think about toxic relationships or violent relationships, they imagine that you'd be feeling frustrated, resentful, and angry all the time. That maybe as a couple or as a dyad, you'd be fighting a lot. But in reality, that's not what happens for most people. When folks are in relationship with a toxic narcissist, more often than not, you've had to let go of who you are and surrender to their reality and, keep them calm and placated and comfortable. And there isn't really any place for you, for what you want, for what you think, or even what you feel. So you become muted. Other people probably would look at you and say, is she depressed? Maybe taking new medication or using substances, when in reality, you're not under the influence of a substance. You're under the influence of a narcissist. And that is really a struggle because in order to remain compliant, you've got to put your soul away. You've got to put yourself away. You've got to put your thoughts and your feelings and your reality away. And there's not a lot left when you do that, right? You become the talking head. You become a meat suit, you become just a shell of yourself without any of the kinds of thoughts or feelings you may have had previous to the narcissist. And, that's no way to live. So if you've noticed that you are just a muted version of yourself, if you're not really living and you're in an unhealthy relationship, if you can get the courage to exit, this is my best advice, right? To do that. But here are a few tips. And if you're thinking about this, if you're concerned about the relationship you're in, make a plan and activate whatever resources or cultivate whatever resources you can. If you're in an intimate relationship with a narcissist, number one, you don't want to get caught compiling resources, whether it's paperwork, money, clothing, but those are the things you've got to get together so that when you leave, you don't have to look back. So make sure you've got a copy of, several years worth of taxes, that you've slowly but surely, pull a little money here and there, open a new bank account for yourself. Make sure that you've got other, your passport, other important records or documents that you might need, medications, as I said, clothing. And if you have children with this person, you've got to get all of that stuff for them as well. And when you have the courage, when you have the opportunity, make sure that you have a safe place to go and go. And, if this is happening to you at work, again, you're doing a version of the same thing, right? You're making sure that you don't have anything left personal on your business computer. You're making sure that anything you need off that business computer that isn't proprietary information, there, I've said it, goes with you. If it's business contacts that you need, phone numbers, emails that you've written, make sure that you have that before you exit. If you can have another less stressful job to go to, great. If you can't, if you can pull together a little money to give yourself a few months before having to work again, that's important. If you've got a therapist who can put you out on stress leave, if you have a lawyer who is going to litigate a hostile workplace environment for you, those are all things that you can be doing, but you got to kind of do them on the down low. And when you are able to pull the trigger to get out, then activate all those resources, activate the professional resources. Make sure you have a therapist, an attorney, a personal banker, a realtor if you need to find a new space to be, a headhunter even if it's work related. And make sure that you have a therapist who's trained in working with people who have been in violent or unhealthy relationships, so that you can finally become the best version of you, the pre-narcissist version of you again. It is possible for you to finally feel those feelings and have those thoughts that weren't safe to have when you were in the toxic relationship. The empowered version of you is just waiting to be let out. But if you're still in that unhealthy or toxic relationship, that part of you is probably put in the vault for now. So if I can assist you in any way, please just contact me. I look forward to speaking with you.